Howdy, we are Team Huntsville. I am Ross Podell, a senior computer science major, and the other member of this team is Jacob Nicoll, who is a sophomore computer science major. Prior to the start of our project, our graduate advisors had done preliminary research on various problems Huntsville needed a solution to. The problem we decided to tackle was the issue of communication between city officials and citizens. Citizens were not often coming to town hall meetings, and they would often communicate to city officials in the form of angry Facebook posts. Clearly, this is an issue that needs solving. Looking back at the preliminary research that graduate students had done, they found another city that had the same issue and implemented a solution to it. The city of Boston, Massachusetts has a mobile app called Boston 311. The main purpose of that app is for it to be used by the citizens to submit non-emergency city service requests. We wanted to take some of the components of Boston 311 and customize them for Huntsville in the form of Huntsville 311. The two main features of Huntsville 311 are, similar to Boston 311, submitting requests for non-emergency city services and allowing city officials to make announcements that will be seen by all users. The user interface, or UI for short, is the first thing that users will see, and it's what makes the first impression on those users. Because of that, it's important to have a well-functioning and good-looking UI. In order to implement this UI, we used React Native. The biggest draw to using React Native is that it is scalable for iOS and Android phones and their relative operating systems. This means that we don't have to make two separate applications and code all of that separately for the two different operating systems. It'll just automatically be able to set itself on both operating systems. Every front end needs a back end supporting it in order to work properly. In this case, we needed to be able to authenticate logins and store and retrieve request and announcement data from the database. To accomplish this, we used Node.js. Node.js is a very popular backend language that is commonly used in industry for professionally made applications. It is also an open source software, which means that a lot of very complicated functionalities have already been implemented by others, and we can use their implementations in our own work. As I mentioned earlier, in order to store our announcement and request information, we needed to hook up the app to a database. We ended up using Google Firebase for two different reasons. The first reason is that the ease of use of the service is high. It is simple to upload data to the database and pull said data back down from the database to show on the application. The second reason is that Google Firebase has a built-in user authentication functionality. This makes it so we can leave the management of the sensitive information of usernames and passwords to a professionally made system with very low risk. And finally, moving on to the actual contents of the app, we made sure to have plenty of pictures of Huntsville, the logo, and a brief history of the city prominently displayed on the app. And as you'll see in the demo later, we were able to implement the two main features discussed earlier of submitting requests and making announcements, along with user authentication.
Part of our project this semester was performing some data analysis on the Huntsville City Works order system. Thanks to Mr. Colhavy, Mr. Wavra, and Mr. Dube, we were able to collect some of the data from the Huntsville work order system that's been in place for the last 10 years or so. Because of this, we've been able to use data analysis and machine learning to estimate the time it might take for a user request to be completed. The way this works is that when a user submits a request on our app, it will go to our database and select past requests that have had a similar time frame. And what it will do is it will do some data analysis on these, and it will return about how long it will take for the user's request to be completed based on the other requests. For the past semester, we have been designing our app with one goal in mind, and that's a useful app for the residents of Huntsville. We have spent our time fine-tuning our app to have the best user experience possible. Everything from what's displayed on the screen to the colors is all designed so that people will enjoy coming on the app. We want the users to learn more about the city of Huntsville, more about what they have to offer, and everything in between. Our app really provides a one-stop solution for all of the Huntsville residents' needs. Whether that's from announcements from the city or the city managers about things going on in the city, whether that's about concerns or requests that the residents may have, or even just up-to-date information. Everything that the resident needs to know about the city can be found in one place in our app. We hope going forward that we might be able to get some user feedback so that we can fine-tune our app even more to meet their needs. So what does the future of Huntsville 311 look like? Well, we've put a lot of time into this project this semester, and we really hope to see it continued in the next semester and the years to come. There are so many open possibilities that could be going on with this project. This includes integration with other applications, and this can include anything from integrating Facebook in a more meaningful way or integrating the Huntsville CityWorks backend system. One other thing that we can pay attention to is the user feedback from the app once we've published it. Using the user feedback, we can always make new features, we can make new things that the residents would want to see, and this can help us fine-tune our app even more to what we want to accomplish with it. There are so many possibilities with this app, and we hope that other teams will be able to come along and improve on the work we've done so far. So without further ado, we have an awesome demo for you guys, and I hope you all will enjoy it. What's going on, everyone? You already know what time it is. Team Huntsville is back for round 2. We have some really exciting stuff for you guys to look at today. In case you missed the last presentation, we'll be skimming over what we had before, and after that we have some brand new things that we want to share you guys. So with that, we'll get started. As before, I'll be doing a demo on my phone right here, and you guys are welcome to follow along on the screen. Since our last update, we haven't done a lot to the login screen. Still kind of the basic thing. We have the cool city logo there along with the Welcome to Huntsville message. I'll go ahead and click Get Started. Since I already have an account, I will go ahead and sign in with my Face ID. Getting onto the home screen now, not much has changed here. We still have the logo in the top left and the nav bar in the top right, which we'll get to in a little bit later in the video. If we scroll down, you'll see that we've added a History of Huntsville portion. This is just kind of outlining the history of the city and also the contribution that Sam Houston has made to it. If you look at the bottom, we also have a Learn More button. If that's clicked, it'll just go over to the Wikipedia page for Huntsville, where the residents can learn more about the history, about tourism, and anything else they might be interested in. Scrolling back up, we're going to take a look at the nav bar now. As you can see, we've added a lot of new features over here, but first we're going to take a look at the Make Announcements page. Now this page is not going to be available to any of the residents downloading the app, only the city managers or the city officials. Here we have a title portion where we can make the title of the announcement, and also a description that's a little more detailed than the title is. I'm going to go ahead and post this announcement as a test run. And if we come over here to the announcements page, this is what the residents are going to see. Just a little announcement bubble with the title, the description, and also the date and time that it was posted. If we go ahead and click on this, it's going to blow it up. So we have a cool little logo here, letting them know it's from the city, and we also have the rest of the announcement there as well. Navigating back from the announcement screen, we can now take a look at the Submit Request screen. What we've done here is we've added a category field to our form. What this allows us to do is give the user an estimated time of completion based on a request. For example, if I have a tree that's fallen in my yard and I select the debris removal and add an image, when I submit my request, I'm going to get a notification that says your request is going to be completed in approximately this amount of time. And what we've done here is we've taken a look at the Huntsville City Work Order system, which has been in place for the last 10 years or so. And we've extrapolated our data using machine learning and statistical analysis in order to give the user an estimated completion time for the request. Clicking on the nav bar one more time, you can see there at the bottom that we have a Facebook and visit our website pane. If we click on the Facebook, this is going to take us to the Huntsville Facebook page, and if you click on the website, it's going to take you to the Huntsville website. Navigating back to the app, I'm going to go ahead and click on Sign Out, and that takes us back to the start. Thank you everybody for listening, thank you for your time, and if you have any questions, we will be happy to take them.